Hello, my loves, and welcome to the tour of my brand new Forest of Valor. She is complete. She is beautiful. So I'm really excited to show off what I've done here and talk a little bit about some of the inspiration behind what I built. Let's take a nice little look from above, and what you'll notice here is that you can hardly see anything because it is so covered by trees. We do have Belle and the Beast Castle over here, which has a little bit of a cleared out area, but beyond that, everything is pretty much covered in trees. Now, the inspiration behind this build was a trip that I took to Seattle. So I went to Seattle for an event. By the way, if you want to see the cozy travel vlog that I did about that, you can check that out in the little link above right here. But when I was there, I was so inspired by the beautiful natural elements of the Pacific Northwest. I took a bunch of pictures that really inspired me, and it's like as soon as I saw these things, I was like, oh my god, Forest of Valor. And so I took the pictures and I came home knowing that I was gonna try to recreate the feeling of this as best as I could in my new updated Forest of Valor. So we've got here an ultra natural, ultra lush, almost zero furniture actually used. Instead, I used a ton of rocks, a ton of the leaf stream path, a ton of underbrush and trees. The houses that I actually have in this biome are the purple cottage. I created a little farm area around the cottage. I also have Merlin's house tucked away in a small clearing in the trees. I have Fairy Godmother's house right here, as well as Belle and the Beast's castle. So as we enter the Forest of Valor, there really is no big entrance in this area. I just wanted to get right to the foresty vibes here. As you come this way, you will reach the purple cottage. And I just want to mention one thing here, which there's something that I really enjoyed putting in this build, which was these little logs. And I really liked having the logs coming out onto the pathway a little bit. I think that makes it feel very natural, very realistic, because if you're walking on a nature path, there's often times when branches or pieces of logs or roots and stuff like that like kind of come out onto the pathway. So I really feel like I was able to emulate that nicely with these logs right here. As we come into the cottage area, this was kind of a farm sort of thing. So as we come this way, we get a small vegetable patch, and then over here is just kind of like a flower area where they keep some potted plants and things like that. Over on this side is just some tables and stuff where I imagine the owner of this cottage would pot their plants. As we walk around this way, we see some really big natural areas. So again, like I said, a lot of the areas that I created here, I created just using the natural elements like the underbrush, the trees, and things like that. So I tried to make it very dense, very natural. I wanted to put a lot of items there that would provide some visual interest while also keeping it looking really, really natural. If you want to see more about my process of creating underbrush in this style, then I definitely recommend checking out my 30+ tips for decorating your valley, because I literally go through and talk about exactly how I go about making areas like this. Another thing that I like about having these super natural areas is that I don't feel like I need to keep them super clean. Like for example, these logs that spawn in the Forest of Valor, I think they're fine. Like I just want to leave them there unless they like, you know, get on the pathway or something like that. But they actually really fit in nicely with the aesthetic. And same thing goes for the wood that spawns on the ground around the trees and even some of the flowers. It's just like a very low maintenance build, which I appreciate because I'm working on a town plaza right now, and that is not a low maintenance build in any way. I feel like I'm constantly having to go in and remove stuff. But as we come around here, we get to Merlin's little area. He has a small clearing that has been set up for him, a small little bush pathway leading up to his house. And then, hello Stitch, all ready for Halloween, I see. And then over here is an area that has some books and potions and candles. I imagine this would be an area where he would come out to work on some magic stuff if he needed some fresh air while he was working. We have a small little pathway right here that leads over into the beach with some benches around. And then coming around to this side, I think this is probably one of my favorite parts of the build, which is Fairy Godmother's house. I'm honestly really fond of the way this is set up with the pathing, how the pathing kind of comes around this way, and then we have kind of this little circular area with the natural part in the middle. It almost kind of looks like a little cul-de-sac or something. I'm really kind of fond of the way that that part turned out. Fairy Godmother has a cozy little home tucked away in the forest. She has lots of floral elements and, you know, a little garden area out here, and of course lots of pumpkins. Coming around this way, we have the stairs that lead up into the Frosted Heights, and you can come around here and we have a little natural path behind her home. Again, I really love this log coming out. It is a little bit annoying when you're running because I run into it sometimes, but it's honestly worth it to me because I just love the way it looks. Coming back this way, there's a little boat that is propped up in the water. And here's Goofy's stall area. It's very simple, very minimal. I didn't put a ton of built up area around Goofy's stall. It's just a little stall tucked away in the corner of the Forest of Valor with a lot of like crates and barrels and stuff. I imagine that these are kind of the leftover crates and barrels from the shipments of the goods that Goofy sells in his stall. This path leads to the other side of the Forest of Valor, but I'm actually going to come around this way so that we can approach it from the other side. For Belle and Bee's Castle, I was really inspired by the film where Bee's Castle is kind of almost in the middle of nowhere in the forest. So I definitely wanted to put it in the forest, and I wanted to put lots of trees and items and stuff like that around it so it really feels kind of tucked away in the forest. As we come over, we start to see some roses popping up around the area, and then we enter the courtyard. The courtyard has a lot of greenery. It has a lot of florals and flower beds. I thought that Belle would like that, and honestly, Beast is kind of the one who ends up really loving all the flowers, right? Like, he's constantly going around and like smelling bushes and stuff like that, so actually I think Beast probably really appreciates this too. I put this lion statue here because I don't know if y'all remember this, but in the quest line to actually get the Beast like in their realm, there's that part where you have to break the lion statue, and I did that part on stream and everyone was like, oh my god, I can't believe we had to just destroy his lion statue. So I made sure that I put not one but 2 lion statues here to replace the ones that I broke. Okay, like this is just so sweet. Like, I really love how Beast is just walking around in his courtyard and enjoying some of the fresh flowers. How cute is that? Like, that is like 100% exactly what I imagined for this build, was a place that him and Belle could just relax and just be themselves. Oh my god, it's so cute. This is perfect. Okay, we'll follow Beast around this way to look at their backyard. I created this cozy little backyard nook for them. So if you follow the rock path around, you get to this beautiful little date night spot. This is such a gorgeous item that we got from their quest line, and I was like, I have to include it in their build. I love that I kind of created this little oasis for them. And again, as we come around here, we're gonna get back to that very, very natural aesthetic. The well is right there. This pathway then leads back around to this side of the forest. And I also created a little picnic spot close to Belle and Beast Castle where, again, I feel like Belle and Beast could come out here and have a lovely little picnic, and they still get to be in the privacy of their own little forest area. Again, I have this little kind of rounded leaf-strewn path area with the circle cut out in the middle. I just think that's so cute. I'm obsessed with that. One thing that I did that I actually really love is I started to transition into the Frosted Heights here in the Forest of Valor. Honestly, it has always annoyed me a little bit that there's just this like icy area here in the Forest of Valor, but I decided to just kind of embrace it. So I started putting these snowy rocks right here, and then I put the fir tree that has the snow on it right there. It still kind of matches the aesthetic of the Forest of Valor in a way because it's a fir tree and I have a lot of fir trees in the forest, but because it's the snowy one, it's kind of like creating this more, I guess, seamless blend into the Frosted Heights, which is really nice. I put Bee's Flower Shop over here on the side of their house, and then coming around here, of course, we get to the back side of their little backyard and the transition up into the Frosted Heights. And that is going to be it for my Forest of Valor tour. Thank you so much for watching. I had originally planned to do this as a speed build, and I'm so sorry that it ended up being a tour. I actually lost all of the footage of the build, so I had a hard drive failure and unfortunately lost all my footage. So we're just gonna have to make do with the tour. I am very sorry about that it didn't end up being the build like I wanted to, but I do have some build videos planned. I am planning on making a series where I do the rooms inside of each of the premium house skins. So let me know in the comments, which house would you like me to tackle first? Which one of the premium house skins? Any of them will work because I do have all of them, except for the Sweet House. I do not have the Sweet House, but the rest of them I have. So let me know what you would like to see. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you can also check me out on Twitch, where I stream at Disney Dreamlight Valley every week. You can also follow me on TikTok for daily cozy gaming content. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and that you find a way to be cozy today. Bye, y'all.